Not sure where those Vikings are going to go. Just going to sit around there, it looks like. So we look at the units tab. Worker-wise, Terran has taken the lead there, but has not expanded. I don't think he's even made a command center, so he's planning to stay all in on one base here. If he gives Protoss enough time, Valryn will be able to come back from that, just from having the extra base to mine off of. You know, he can get a few more gateways up, start massive gateway production, keep the Colossus production going. Well, he needs to drop another Robo, actually, if he's going to continue Colossus production, but doesn't look like Link is going to give Valryn the time to make that kind of comeback. Very small Marine force, actually, but with that many well, yeah, it was almost a medevac for every 3 Marines and a decent number of Vikings. I don't know, though. That's an okay-looking gateway force and a Colossus, so... And Viking is good against the Colossus, not so good against Zealots. Ooh, yeah, and that Colossus gets a lot of nice attacks off before the Marines finish their move command. And losing those vital tech units, the medevacs and the Vikings, much more useful in high numbers. So I think that was actually a bad attack on Link's part. He kind of just threw those away. Also, I'm a little surprised that he's not making any, I guess if you're producing off of 2 barracks and a reactored starport, you can't do much else. But a little surprised not to see Marauders coming out. Marauders are obviously very good against gateway units, although not so much against Zealots, but they rip those Stalkers apart. +1 armor almost finished for the Terran. That Robo's almost done being reconstructed. Terran assembling a little force out here, but again, not a very beefy force on the ground. You know, just what is that, 6 Marines? Everything kind of trickling in one at a time. Terran does take the time to expand, though, so not all in anymore. But Valryn's come back a lot in the food count. He was down by, I think, 40 or 35. It's like probably a Hellion drop. And is he going to try to 2-prong push at once, or just get those Hellions in? Ooh. Big blast on this probe kill. Those probes are going to go back to mining, and we are getting another Colossus out now. Just 4 Vikings. Still just a lot of Marine production. Again, as long as you have Colossus, even 2 Colossus, 3 Colossus, they can just destroy the Marines so easily. You know, even if you had, like, especially because the Marine count is, you know, still relatively small, even if you had 20 Vikings here and 3 Colossus, the 3 Colossus would kill all the Marines, die to the Vikings, and then the gateway units would just walk up and kill you. So I would love to see more of the beefy Marauders. Especially when you know the Viking count is very small, or not the Viking, the Colossus count is going to be small. You killed the Robo, you've delayed a lot of mining. You know he's not going to have a lot of Colossus, so take the time to get your Marauders up and push in and kill him while he's on gateway units. Looks like Link going for another drop. And this can be just a hassle, especially when you're, you know, low level of play. It's very difficult to deal with this kind of harassment. You have a force at your front you have to watch, and it's very easy to just move your entire army back in to deal with a small drop. I would actually kind of, well, maybe not, I don't know, the food count, I don't know if you can really afford it, but I would love to see Blink get researched. Blink very useful for picking off those dropships as they retreat. You can just... Ooh, a spotter pylon again. Great play from Valryn there. And how's those workers doing? 39 to 41, so Terran now catching back up on the worker count. But he was on one base for so long that he's almost mined out in his main, whereas Valryn still is mining fully from his main and expansion. So, large battle happening in the center. Good force field, splitting those Marines up. But kind of working against the Zealots now. And lands the Vikings. That is, I think, going to be able to clean up that force. And everything rallied down to the center. Valryn might be able to hold this. Marines not the best against Stalkers, but Vikings actually okay on the ground. Should get that Colossus back down into the battle. Viking count still fairly low, so I don't think Valryn's lost this. He definitely lost that battle, but it's not over yet. Getting the weapons upgrade. Ooh, are those Vikings going to be able to snipe off that Colossus? They are. That was a huge win for Link right there, actually. Sniping that Colossus and having only kind of a small gateway force against this, that might actually be what wins the game for Link right there, because this medevac count is getting very high, and medevacs just really make those barracks units stronger. Would love to see this gateway army sitting more out here. Is this force going to get in? One thing about walling off your ramp against Terran is it means your units, when they finally come to the fight, are going to trickle through in a single line fashion, which can make it easy for Terran to get a really nice concave against you. And I think the Vikings should actually land again. There they are. And this might be the last battle of the game, trying to warp in more Stalkers, but just too many barracks units. Medevacs almost obscuring the entire army. Vikings landed, and it looks like the natural will go down. These guys can stem all day if they want. So many medevacs above them. And another force coming in. I don't think there's any way the Valryn can handle this, so we might be going to game 2 with Link up 1. Force fields the ramp, nice there, but more of a delaying tactic than anything else, because I just don't see any way that Valryn can come back from this. Vikings looking to see if they can keep that Colossus back. In the units tab, we see that it's 1 Colossus, 3 Stalkers against a very large army. And that looks like it might be the cleanup. Valryn gives the GG. And Valryn has left the game. Alright guys, so we're going to go into game 2 now. Link's going to be 1-0. This is a best of 3. And I hope the next game's as exciting as that one was, actually. I think the real linchpin there was just the fact that Valryn had moved out right when that double drop came in, and he managed to make a hell of a comeback, but it just wasn't quite enough after that damage. Alright, thanks, and I'll see you next time.